welcome, and let's get started. This is, I guess, number 2 or
number
3.
2, whatever, bro.
Whatever it is.
Track, dog.
The next one.
Life is a journey, brother.
Yeah, man. So I guess the goal of this podcast is to learn further and teach and
just be human about shit.
Yeah, man.
Spreading knowledge.
And then from our perspective here on the West Coast in California here, and where we can go and what we can do, and all the cool shit that's out here. Because everybody wants to be out here. The weather, it's fucking sunny as fuck.
Bro,
right now.
it was sunny. It's sunny right now. I haven't really looked outside, but this morning I was playing ball and it was gloomy as fuck, dude.
I mean, that's because we live close to the beach.
Yeah,
which is another plus.
But it's been hot the past 3 days, hot as a motherfucker. And then this morning it was chilly.
Yeah.
It was kind of some diamonds, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's probably just regular morning because the sun is gone and all the heat, hot air rises up and all the cold air from the ocean front cools us right off.
Yeah.
So the ocean's regulating our temperature right now because if we were anywhere else, it'd be fucking fucked.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Fuck the weather, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck the weather, girl.
Yeah. Trying to spit bars. That's half a bar right there.
Yeah, no. Just trying to finish it, dude. Thanks for.
All right.
What you got for me, man?
Well, today I was kind of on a little bit of a. Well, I was looking at the record labels, and I was kind of inspired by this New York Times article that came out a few days back. It was about the day that music burned. It came out on the 11th.
Is that talking about CDs or burned as in what?
No, they're talking about the masters that got burned back in 2008 of a large portion of Universal Music Group's library.
Oh shit! In a fire?
Yeah.
How did that happen, dude?
What?
Well, so okay. they lost records or
the masters.
The masters. So so then does that go along with the rights of the music? So
they technically still have the rights.
Without the master, there's no rights, though. Or how does that work?
So it's kind of unclear necessarily because this happened a long time ago. So what they do have is the closest thing to the masters, which is an EQ copy. So you know how when you make a copy of an original document, every time you make another copy of it, it degrades in quality.
How is that digitally possible if it's the same copy?
Well, because these were press records. And the analog pressing of records is incredibly advanced in terms of how things are recorded and how well things are recorded. So there are things that get recorded in the studio. You'll hear literally the sounds that were happening in that very moment when you were recording are what get recorded onto that initial master, that first copy. For example,
I understand. I've been around music.
But because of that original copy, and then the subsequent releasing and represses of that material is not nearly as good as the original first pressing of whatever record.
Okay, yeah.
So the master is the most
coveted part of.
It's the most important part in terms of physical music ownership, in terms of having the right to profit off of it and all that kind of things. And there's here.
Right.
There's a lot of information, but it kind of put me down this thing where I started thinking about the record companies and how much influence and power they have over American culture.
Millions of people, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's people's lives, the soundtrack to people's lives are under 3 major record labels.
And those are?
Because of consolidation. Those are Warner Music Group, which owns stuff like Atlantic Records.
No way.
A bunch of stuff. And then there is.
Wasn't Gambino signed to? No, he was signed to
He's Glassnote. But Glassnote,
that was a bullshit, right?
They have a parent. I think they have a parent company as well. The majority of the music industry has been consolidated under those three labels, and that is Sony Music, Warner Music, and Universal Music.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
So all like the major labels are under those three, pretty much.
The majority of them.
That's so fucked, dude.
I mean, it makes sense in order to get the largest amount of profit possible, and it's kind of like the end game of most capitalist, like, it's the end game of business overall is to be the best and the biggest.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they get come down to three, like an oligarchy or something like that, where there's just major companies that are in control of these things. I mean, you could say the same thing that happened for TV with NBC. As a matter of fact, a lot of these, like Universal Music Group is owned by Comcast, which owns NBC, which owns like Universal Studios.
Filthy money, dude.
Yeah, like
oh my god,
it's a lot of IP, like intellectual property, that they have ownership over and power, control, like really, and that's really. I don't know if I'm worried about it or scared about it, or is it just something that is inevitable to anything to happen. There's going to be like the biggest.
My initial reaction is I'm kind of heated, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, how is this not known? Or,
well,
like,
it is known.
You just think like, okay,
you think major label,
you think Capitol Records, they own themselves, or like fucking whatever, they own themselves.
I want to say Capitol Records is Universal too. I haven't
See,
dug,
that's what I mean. Like,
I haven't dug deep enough to find the whole web.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant to do earlier.
It's all good, bro. We all get caught up.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of information, and
is this the fire?
Yeah, man. Like, okay, so there's like literally in the article there are images from 2008.
Canisters of tape and shit, right?
Yeah, of tape.
Those are highly flammable, no?
Yeah, and magnetized.
Inglourious Bastard, you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
What was the difference in tape?
Super flammable. I don't remember.
The name?
I don't remember the name.
Something that's like fuck. It's like carbon, or I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Well, obviously carbon flames up.
Yeah, but it's pretty impressive how much.
Did they say how they started the fire?
The way they describe it is that they were doing some roof work, and it doesn't really specifically say, but I'm assuming somebody like lit a cigarette, or it was just super hot in the summertime, and something just caught, and the roof was on fire, and it all came crashing down and started burning, and they lost a lot of their masters. And what was interesting is that I found out, because I also listened to the accompanying podcast about this on Popcast from the New York Times as well, and they were interviewing the author of this article, and he was discussing that like they didn't really understand the importance of masters and the importance of seeing masters as an asset to your company until like the 80s, when they started reissuing stuff, and there was a market for high quality music sales.
Yeah.
And that market for high quality music sales, where it was like, oh, well, we have the remastered collection of all of this stuff. And all of this stuff is like Chuck Berry, to like pretty much anybody, you name it, they probably got a re-release with high quality
because they had the masters, right?
Because they had the masters.
And the remaster just means like new technology, like new interfaces.
We can digitize this stuff and put it all together. And for a large amount of the music that's been recorded in the past 100 years, 120 years plus, like, or not 120 years, but pretty much 100 years at this point now that I think about it.
Yeah.
It's 2019, it's almost 100. It's almost 2020. So like almost 100 years they've been recording music and keeping track of it. And that's a lot of cultural data if you really think about it. Like, especially now when you think about how people record stuff on their phone or on a laptop and just throw it on the internet. And how many songs are out and put out every day.
Yeah.
Because you could scroll down SoundCloud and
For days.
literally get in a hole. And then there's also multiple places where you can stream. I was reading another article, I forgot, on Billboard. And it was saying Warner Brothers Music Group, they surpassed their revenue from CD sales a long time ago. And the majority of the revenue now comes from music streaming. Mm-hmm. And that's ridiculous to me because, like, the fact that they own the masters means that they have all the right to profit from the music itself. And the artists might get a cut of that, but that the majority of that cut is going to the record label.
Yeah.
And everybody's streaming music every day.
Every day.
And if you think of playlists as like a valuable part of land, and or having your song on there is like having like an investment in people's time. Like, people are going to listen to a hot playlist. Like, you think of like Rap Caviar. If you have a song on Rap Caviar, it's going to get plays. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And because I don't use Spotify. I stopped using Spotify like 3 years ago, but a lot of people use Spotify.
Yeah, bro.
And there are a lot of people that use Apple Music.
I do, yeah.
And Apple Music is the same concept where it's like, yeah, those playlists that they curate for you, they suggest.
I don't
music.
listen to fucking playlists, bro.
I don't either. I make my own.
Yeah.
But not everybody's like a music head, you know what I mean? Okay. Like, some people are just like, oh, well, this is the good rap stuff. I mean, people are the same way with music on the playlist that is recommended for them. Granted, you have an algorithm saying, oh, well, you like this song, well, we'll suggest this song. Yeah. Whereas, like, the radio is just like, we know this many people in this area, we know LA likes this
YG
group.
Or someone, yeah.
YG.
I was listening. There was a song on the radio, and like there was not one word you could like that wasn't bleeped out on the hook. I forget what song it was.
And that's even better about streaming, is that you can have it as customizable as you want. You don't have to have the curse word. You can have the clean songs if you want. Yeah. Or you could just go ahead and straight up go with the original cut. In the UK, they don't have they don't censor the lyrics. Wow. In the UK, they just let it play on the radio out there.
That's tight.
Their radio, the majority of their radio is not private, publicly owned. The British Broadcasting Company is like, it's like there's part of the whole network of radio out there. Okay. The music industry out there, I haven't really studied a lot, but everything I find out about it is really interesting because it's different than America because of the way that our freedoms and liberties are set up. Like, we're said to be free to do what we can, versus where they have more of a representative state mindset versus us.
Meaning, like, say there's an artist in the UK, he would get like an agent who would work for him, or like try to get his foot in. What do you mean?
The means of distribution are not held by. The means of distribution are held by the state rather than by individuals. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. So you have like pirate radio stations out there and stuff like that.
But here, those owners are oligarchs.
Private companies.
Okay.
So it's in the private sector rather than in the public sector. Private meaning that there are individuals making decisions on what they want to do with that content. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting when you think about it, because every state is a little bit different, every county is a little bit different, every radio station within those counties are a little bit different. And you get a lot of consolidation there too, because it's good for business. Like, the Breakfast Club plays all over the country.
Yeah, man. That's what, Big Boy and...
No. Breakfast Club is like, what's his name? Charlemagne.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank God.
DJ Envy and Angela Yee. Yeah. Yeah. I don't listen to the Breakfast Club. I know a lot of people that do, though. And a lot of people really like their show, but they get broadcast everywhere.
Everywhere, huh?
Everywhere. I remember I was looking at radio stations in... where was it? in Michigan, I was looking at radio stations. And I was just like, what kind of radio station? What do they listen to out there? So I was just looking online. And they play the Breakfast Club in the majority of like those little small towns where you would otherwise have a regular local radio station.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, well, we're a big radio company. We have a program for the morning that we broadcast to you.
Attract this many people, and then you can make money at the ads and all that.
Yeah, like we know that you have people, and iHeartRadio, Clear Channel is the parent company of iHeartRadio. Yeah. But like iHeartRadio runs like a lot of the radio stations in America now. And that's, like I said, it's like a private company.
Yeah.
But it's a massive radio station. And they're still losing a lot of money if you look at them on the stock market, yeah.
What?
Yeah. They're not a very valuable company, but they're huge.
Because, like, what? How do they make money of advertisements? And it's like, that's about it, right?
Yes, but radio is still a very profitable business. It's
so
just that...
Why do you think they're losing money like that?
I don't know. Probably in all the investments they probably made. I'm not sure. I'm not behind the closed doors. But I know that it's huge. And it dominates the majority of the country. I mean, fucking Big Boy is on iHeartRadio. That Real 92.3 is owned. That station is owned by iHeartRadio. Yeah. And they cut Big Boy a big check to be over there.
That's why I like K-Jazz, bro, because it's Long Beach State, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing. The radio station, like, if you own a radio station, it's as long as you run it according to the FCC's regulation.
Which are just cuss words at time of day and shit? Or?
Curse words, time of day.
Do they censor content? Like, you can't talk about, like, sex or something?
I don't know. But satellite radio is a whole nother broadcast.
God. Every time I hear satellite radio, I just think of Howard Stern.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the pioneer.
He's literally the pioneer. He's the pioneer of the whole thing.
He just has a new book out. I forget what it's called.
I noticed that he did a bunch of promotion, but I didn't watch any of it.
Oh, yeah. Bro, Howard Stern had he would have, like, bitches come on.
Yeah, and like get off on a machine.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What's that machine called?
It starts with Symbian.
Something like
Sabian,
right?
Something like that.
That shit was tight. That shit was dope. That shit was hella dope.
I mean, when you're 13 or like a lonely 40-year-old, yes.
That's when I was fucking watching that shit, dog, when I was fucking 13.
Oh,
dude.
man.
That's so cool, bro.
Oh, man.
I mean, not really. It's kind of fucked up. But like,
not necessarily.
It's just the essence of satellite radio and Howard Stern. It's like, do whatever.
Do whatever you want. Feel comfortable. People like Lisa Ann.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of porn stars that went on. That's all.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what got the 13-year-olds really excited, for sure. Because they didn't know what to do. I remember I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, Lisa Ann's doing something.
I said, Akina.
Oh, don't even start on her. She was selling a book so hard. What? I don't even know what she does anymore. I'm pretty sure.
Who cares, bro?
I mean, everybody's got to eat.
She ate a lot of dick.
Good for her, though.
Anyway, bro.
All right. So, how about you? What did you learn this week?
Mostly this morning, dude.
For sure.
Yeah.
Still counts.
I'm
trying to get this together.
I know, right?
I don't want to necessarily have lesson plans, but I just like having talking points.
Oh yeah, bro, and like I have a bunch of talking points.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, well,
Lección uno.
Lección uno, right? Yeah, so like the NBA Finals just happened, and Toronto dethroned the crown of the Warriors, and it's
good for them.
Good for them.
Drake is a meme king.
He is,
and
I like him even more for what he's done in the finals.
Didn't even watch. I don't think I watched a single game start to finish.
I only watched 2 games, but I didn't watch the first quarter of one. And anyway, that's not what I'm getting at, bro. It's just like I was telling you on the phone, bro. Like the rise and fall of athletes, and like it's so quick, and it's sad, and it's like it's inhumane the way they're treated, bro. Like
bodies are fragile, man.
Bodies are fragile, but
and valuable at the same time.
And valuable, yeah. So like the whole thing with Kevin Durant, like he hurt his calf like a month ago, whatever. Just like a regular calf injury. Yeah, just like pulled his calf, right? I heard something about an ACL.
All right, we're getting
that's
there.
another
All right,
person,
for sure.
right?
All right.
So KD hurt his calf, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they sat him out for like the rest of the Western Conference Finals. So he missed like a month. He missed like the first four games of the NBA Finals, right?
Yeah.
And so now the Warriors are down 3-1 in the series, and it was like, oh shit, are you thinking, no, what's gonna happen? Is KD gonna play? Like that's their only shot.
Yeah.
That's their only shot to like come back. And so like, I guess they went like to all doctors, all this shit, and like
they have all this money.
They have all this money.
They can afford all the treatments.
All the treatments, bro. All the second looks, all whatever, and they cleared him to play. And so he came out, fucking hit his first 3 shots, like big impact, put him up by 11 or whatever. And I think I forget what quarter it was. Maybe it was like late in the second quarter. It doesn't matter, but he just like planted on his foot and then like went down, and you could tell like it was his same leg that he hurt. And like you gotta understand, bro, when your calf gets injured, everything else is taking the strain and like all your
ligaments and all the rest of the muscles around it.
They're taking the blunt of the force, right? Because like that's how muscles work. Like they need to work and like energy is created, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
So he went down and he missed the rest of the game. And like right when he went down, I was like, dude, that's probably his Achilles, because like he just hurt his calf. Like it's not his calf, like that's just healed by now, but. It just got to a point where everyone's like, oh, he's done, dude. Like, everyone's like, it's how you.
Wait, what quarter was this in?
Like the second or third, bro. Okay. It was like the second quarter.
All right, so it's like middle of the game.
Middle of the game, bro. Yeah. Like the Warriors were winning, and it's like, first of all, when he went down, Toronto, the fans in Toronto were clapping like, yeah, he's out. We're gonna win the game.
Oh my god.
But credit Toronto players. Kyle Lowry's like, yo, shut the like he's shut the
dude's
fuck up.
hurt.
Like he's like waving the crowd down, like shut up, like,
yeah.
Let's be respectful. Like he's a human being, like this is what he does every day.
This is a real deal. This is somebody's life. Man. Like this is somebody's career, bro. For the biggest part.
Like how would you feel, bro, if like someone like hit you with a car and now you can't go to work? Like you're gonna clap. Someone gonna clap because like
yeah, fuck that guy.
is your coworker gonna clap because they get more hours now?
Yeah,
or like,
exactly.
What's it just doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like, and so that's when I was kind of like just how quick America or sports fans or anyone is, or people are just so quick.
Tribe, man.
Yeah, it's tribe mentality, bro. Whatever. They're just so quick to like write you off or just because they think that they know something, right? But I guarantee you, he's gonna be back, and he's gonna.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna go to Brooklyn?
I don't know, bro. Who cares, dude? That's not what I'm getting at.
For sure. You're talking about like the humanity in sports and the loss of it when the game is hot.
Not necessarily, when the game's hot, but like just, bro, fans are assholes sometimes, dude, and like just like as like that's your whole purpose. That's his purpose is to play ball. Now he can't do it. Why don't you fucking feel for the guy and know he's probably going to go through some depression or go through like adjustment disorder, whatever you want to call it, like adjusting to his new reality. And so like the next game 6, Klay Thompson gets the ball, goes up for layup, and Danny Green makes a play on the ball, and like he lands on his leg wrong, and like you just see his knee buckle and like ACL.
Did somebody push him or something?
Well, he's going up to like dunk it, and then Danny Green like went up with him and like tried to play the ball. And like kind of shifted him, and like he didn't like fall right.
Yeah.
And I know they practice falling and shit. But you can't expect someone like it's not.
You have so many other things to practice.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's down on the ground, bro, and he gets like carried off, and you have to shoot your free throws in order to have a chance to return to the game. So like there's like video of him like in the tunnel, like getting like. Carried off. He's like, nah, fuck this, and then he like starts like jumping up and down, like fucking like getting his leg like ready to go, and then he walks back out to the court, and the whole Oracle's going crazy, bro. Like,
and it's in.
This happened in Oracle, bro.
Oh my god.
In the Bay, and so this fool fucking makes his free throws, and then like goes back in the back, but like he was done obviously.
Yeah.
But that's so badass, dude, and like. It's just so badass, dude. Like, mad respect, and that's what I'm saying. Like, KD, like that, and that's what relates to like Kevin Durant. Is like, okay, bro, you're clapping for fucking Klay Thompson coming back when he's clearly injured.
Yeah.
But you're saying that KD shouldn't have played because now he tore his Achilles? Like, what is... There's this such hypocrisy, like...
Well, yeah, and then if you look into, like, just the beginning of the series, the arc of the story is, like, in the beginning, oh, well, the big dog, like, umpteenth time they've been to the finals.
Yeah.
The Warriors, fuck those guys anyway, that whatever. And then everybody's like, oh, like go Raptors because they're the underdog.
Yeah.
And everybody likes the underdog. And then what was it, like game 3? Or game 4, really?
Game 4, because the Raptors took 2 away at Oracle, which has never been... Like,
that's crazy.
Dude, home teams were 1-4 in the series. That's weird. 1 win, 4 losses. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
But so, like, I'm thinking, like, dude, you would have called KD soft if he sat out in the finals and he had a chance to help his team.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're gonna call him like that he didn't make the right decision based on his own like body. That's like fucking taking it down to like. Obviously, it's not the same, but like
it's not. But you're
like talking about abortions, bro. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
No, I was gonna say, I was like, shit. Well,
but
like, no, but it's one. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just entertainment to fans.
It is, man.
It's a soap opera. It's a soap opera that it's the most reality of reality TVs. Like, people's bodies are literally on the line.
Like, fucking Gladiators were a thing.
Yeah.
Right? And then...
This is what we watch now.
This is what we watch now, bro. And so, like, it just got me thinking, like, when I heard Klay got his ACL was torn, like, bro, like, what is the history on the surgeries and, like, how advanced are we now compared to, like, I know in, like, the 60s it wasn't shit, like...
Yeah.
So, like, basically, bro, I just Googled, like, the history of the ACL. And, like, basically, ancient Egypt, they had some idea of ligaments. And there's this...
I don't even think... How would you come up with what this shit is?
I know, right?
Without... I mean, of course Egypt did because they fucking opened up bodies.
Yeah. But, yeah, bro, like, there's this document. It's called, like, the Smith Papyrus Papers, and like that's named after the dude who bought it. Like, he bought like this document and like named it after himself, I think.
Okay.
And like it's just the earliest known text of like they had like spinal surgeries and like you're saying like Egyptians cutting open bodies and like finding what's inside and shit. So that's like the document, right? And so this dude, fast forward a bit in the Roman Empire, this dude Claudius Galen, he was a Greek physician, right, in the Roman Empire. And he was the first to like describe the true nature of the ACL. Like, it was, some people believe like it was a part of your nervous system. Like, what? Like, it's a fucking ligament. Obviously, I know we know now, but like it's so funny. Like, and this dude Galen, he's like, nah, it's structure, and like it has to do with like stability, right? And so, fast forward to like 1845, this dude Ahmad Banet was the first to like record a rupture of the ACL. Right? And that had nothing to do with repairing it, just that there was a noticeable difference in how people could move and mobility.
Look, it's broken or not working.
It shit hurts, bro.
I got fucked up.
And so 30 years later in 1875, this Greek dude, fucking Gregorius Nulis, whatever. I don't give a fuck, honestly.
You just
he invented the Lockman test, like the Lockman,
which is the knee test,
knee test,
that
bro.
they gave us.
And so that was like 1875, bro, and they still use that shit today, which is crazy. So maybe like 22 years later, the first repair of the ACL was recorded by this. Yeah, it was like this 41-year-old miner, like obviously blew out his knee and probably just fell in the mine shaft or some shit, right? Like,
that's such a dangerous dog. Talk about
bro.
Fucking grinding.
Have you seen Chernobyl?
Dude, not yet.
Bro.
It's on HBO.
It is, dude.
Oh,
I've seen like I finished it. And
how many
like,
episodes is it?
5.
Oh, okay, for sure.
And like
that's doable.
The first one is like, bro, this shit's fucking like a zombie apocalypse.
Damn.
Like, that's the feel of it, like how intense it is. And
you
like,
know what makes me so sad about that?
What?
Nuclear power is such an efficient source of energy.
It is. you know when you're driving to San Diego?
The tits.
The titties? That's
That's a nuclear power
plant.
They don't use that plant though, do they?
What?
I don't. Okay.
It's active.
I'm gonna have to. I was about to say I don't know how much.
It's active, but look how close to the ocean it is.
Yeah,
bro.
it has to be.
Like
if
fucking
you
talk
gotta
about
cool it off.
Japan, like yeah.
I mean, but I truly believe that if we don't solve, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But we have a lot of energy issues in the world.
We do, man.
Yeah.
I'm down with nuclear power.
I'm down with all. I'm down with a beautiful portfolio of sources of energy.
Yeah, dude. Because we just need all.
Because we need to get off the bottle or stop sucking on the tit of oil.
Yeah, bro.
Because
before it kills us,
it's a lot. Because its value changes the nature of the world because of where the oil is.
Yeah.
I mean, Venezuela is what it is now because of oil. The Middle East is what, or at least Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates are the way they are because of oil. It's crazy. Anyway,
crazy, man.
Energy is important,
and
I will. I guess this is going to end up being a motif.
Yeah. Right. That's so funny. Dude.
But
that's so funny, man.
Yeah, but. Fucking and then
coal
miners,
Chernobyl,
coal miners in the thing. It's energy.
Yeah,
dangerous jobs.
A bunch of miners basically saved fucking Chernobyl. They didn't save shit, but they helped. Like they were the ones digging underneath and like shit, and like basically sacrificed their lives to like to bury the hatchet that was gonna kill the whole fucking hemisphere.
I need to watch this fucking show.
Dude, it's badass, bro. And like
that's crazy.
Dude, like. Dude, the way the miners were portrayed in this shit was fucking awesome.
I gotta watch this.
They're like true heroes, bro.
Yeah,
you gotta watch this shit, man.
It took place in Ukraine, right?
Russia.
Well, present day Ukraine, previously the Soviet Union.
Soviet Union, yeah. So it has to do with like the USSR and like.
Yeah. No, because
I don't know, bro.
They lost a lot of their territory.
You tell me, bro. You tell me.
It's a long story. Communism.
Bro.
There you go. Communism.
Yeah, but basically, bro, in Chernobyl, like. They had this reader of
the Geiger counter.
Yeah, whatever.
It counts the radiation. The radiation.
What are they called? The
Geiger counter.
Yeah, but like the metrics of like 1 to 10. What is it called? Like it's like 3.9.
I do not remember the units.
The units, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay, for sure.
Right. So like in the thing, like when that shit goes, like they like use the reader and it maxes out at 3.9. Well, what is the reading? Well, it's 3.9. Oh, so the dude just wrote down 3.9 on the report, even though it's not that. It's just that's the maximum. So it's like, bro, this dude just like totally lied to his superiors, and then they're lying to the people up there, and it's not the actual fucking truth.
Because the Soviet Union is evil?
Yes, dude.
Okay, for sure.
No, not because of evil.
Because it's...
Yeah, they're just stubborn, bro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, they were stubborn, but anyway... Yeah. So yeah, bro, like, so, anyway, blah, 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 blah. Oh, dude, check this out, bro. In 1903, this dude attempted to repair the ACL with the fucking braided silk.
Oh, wow.
Failure, of course.
Yeah! I'm like, I guess it's a strong material. It is organic. It's
bro.
Naturally occurring.
Yeah. That was in Munich, or whatever, bro.
Germany?
Wherever fucking Munich is, bro.
Germany.
Shit. Pull a map out your butt.
No, Munich is Germany.
Alright, dude.
That's crazy, though. So, like, a lot of... Well, okay, in terms of the history, I remember when I tore my ACL, it was a year after Adrian Peterson tore his.
Oh, word. And that shit was like...
I was trying to be like him so goddamn bad.
I know. I remember that shit.
Oh, my God. And it was pretty much impossible.
Dog,
there's no way I was coming back in 6 months.
Did you hear the folk legend of when he woke up from surgery?
I don't know.
Peterson? So he's laying in bed, right? His whole leg is immobilized. Mm-hmm. The doctor's like, all right, it's going to be important for you, like, not to move your leg at all. Like, you probably can't even pick it up by yourself. Oh, what, like this? And he fucking lifts his leg up. Of course, bro. It's Adrian Peterson. He's like, oh, like this, dog?
Like this? You know, my glute muscles are so strong, they'll lift up my leg.
Right? Hey, dude. Nah, for real, bro. Like,
my muscles are so in sync that to move my leg, I also have to use my core. And
bro,
my
you know he used to just, like, go squat with the lineman and, like, not even ask the weight. Just like go get in line and like boom, put up the racks and boom. And
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, bro. Like the lineman, like, hey, whoa, like this is this amount. It's like
this is weight.
This is weight, bro.
This is mass.
Yeah.
Kilos, my guy.
Kilos. Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. But
so
it is important to understand the journeys of and especially with sports.
Yeah.
Because it's something that everybody watches.
Yeah, and like when you get injured in sports, like the whole mentality of someone who's an athlete or like is playing sports at a high level is like, I'm gonna make this part of my comeback story. Mm-hmm. Like it's never in the mind where it's like I'm done. Because it's never in the mindset.
Culturally, that has become part of American sport. I mean, sporting in general. I'm just more versed in American sports, but. Yeah. But yeah, the comeback story is huge. It's like, yeah, and then I did this.
Like Tiger Woods winning, people don't know how big that is, but it'll be talked about. Like now he's cool with whatever, bro. Yeah. Now, who is he? He was just like linking up with someone, bro. I forget what. Dude, I have to look it up.
I don't know.
you know, he tried to get back with his wife.
I'm sure he tried.
And like the prenup was gonna be like infidelity clause of like 175 million, but then she wanted like 300 million, and he's like, nah, I'm probably gonna fuck around.
That's crazy.
He's willing to lose 175 million just to get back with his wife. Oh my god. Lindsey Vonn, right?
That was a couple years ago, but yeah, Lindsey Vonn, yeah. Yeah. I thought you were talking about right now. I'm like, shit, I don't pay attention to his dating life.
I wonder if like when she skis, like.
What are you wondering?
I'm not gonna say it.
She skis, it hurts her knees because I believe she's also torn her ACL.
No,
skiing is a dangerous sport.
It is, bro. Like how tight that pussy is.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah. Shit in the ass, brother.
Oh god. No. Oh man.
Yeah. There's you know when Kobe tore his Achilles, like, dude, he shot his free throws and made them. Like that's badass, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I played a full football game with no ACL. Yeah, like that's just crazy. That's just dope.
Something else.
That's crazy. That shit hurt.
I remember I tried to play a rugby game on a torn PCL and it didn't work.
Didn't work?
Nah. I was like, yeah, fam, take me out, sub me.
Dude, Phillip Rivers played a playoff game with no ACL.
Yeah, man.
That's tight.
Well, okay, for a quarterback. And I'm not trying to belittle your accomplishment.
No, dude. I mean, it's not. It's a.
You don't have to make a lot of cuts.
But it's on your plant leg, like.
No. It's definitely not easy. Yeah. But you're not making full speed cuts.
No, you could just sit on your back leg and throw the ball.
If you had to.
If you had to, yeah, it could be done.
But
any other position?
Any other position, the speed at which you'd need to make your cuts would be too much for your muscles to manage.
True. And like you just get burnt every play.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like if you're a quarterback for sure, like it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it's possible.
It's possible, yeah. That's why it's been done before.
Exactly, yeah. and that's why, and that's the cool thing about a lot of when you look at a lot of these comeback stories, it just proves the possible.
Right.
And that's, I think, why.
Which is why it's pissing me off that people are just writing off KD like, oh, he's done, like he's never gonna be the same.
That's part of the story.
The fuck, dude?
For all intents, for all the
what is that bullshit, bro? Get that shit out of here. He's a freak of nature, man. Like
they all are.
They're all shooters.
In the NBA, they all are.
I know, man.
Hand-eye coordination, speed, agility.
It's just like you can't win, bro. Like you can't win. Like he sat out the game. He would have been called a pussy. He called soft. He plays, he gets hurt.
LeBron
now he's fragile.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck, bro? Even though Kawhi sat out games this year just to get ready and, like, he's cool, you know?
The amount of games they play in the NBA is
ridiculous.
Yeah.
82 or something. Baseball's even crazier. But anyway, let me continue on the history.
Sorry, yeah. The talking points are important.
It is important, bro. And, like, it's cool that you said that you're trying to be like Adrian Peterson, like, because that's part of the comeback story and part of the motivation, like, to get back to whatever.
Yeah.
And so basically, bro, in 1912, they started using, like, grafts and shit. 1934, they used, like, the first hamstring graft. This dude, Riccardo Galazzi, Italian fool.
Okay.
I wonder, my
Italian is trash, so.
Yeah. I wonder what, like, the surgeons are doing. Like, do they talk with their hands with the scalpel in their
Probably.
fucking... Yeah, right?
It's Italian.
It's Italian.
That's...
It's like, hey, pass me the scalpel.
Pásamela.
It's already in your hand. Right, so that was the hamstring. That shit was, like, successful, you know? It was, like, starting to pick up steam. That was in 1934, right? 1935, they're like, fuck it, let's use the patellar tendon, right? And they were just drilling 2 holes, one in the tibia, one in the femur, to connect them with like some screws.
Yeah.
But then the key breakthrough was like in 1963 with the bone patellar tendon bone graft.
That's what I have.
That's what you have, right?
Yeah.
I have the hamstring thing.
Yeah, you have the hamstring.
Yeah, which it's whatever, bro. Doctors are different.
I told my coworker also he got the hamstring as well. I was telling him about it. He's like, yeah, man, like this scar is fucked.
That is fucked. My shit's like 3 dots.
Yeah, that's what his is. He showed me his too. He's like, yeah, man, I just have a couple of dots. I'm like, bro, this thing is massive.
But I bet your hamstrings are good.
Yeah, my hamstrings are good.
My hamstrings are shit, bro. Like,
really?
When I wake up in the morning, like they're so tight.
Yeah.
Like I have to stretch and then like I have to work them out or run. Yeah. I have to keep them active, or else like it's just gonna like fucking tied up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I didn't get the hamstring because I also have a torn quadricep.
Ah.
There's a whole nother thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So.
What's up? Hey, all braided up. Looking good.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Shit.
How's parking, dude?
What's up?
Oh, we're just finishing up, bro.
Yeah.
But how's parking? You parked up here?
Oh yeah, in the back.
Where? Cool, man. So yeah, bro. Like, so the hamstring graft, 1935. They still use that today. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's what you got on both of yours, right?
On both of mine, but like 1963, like that's what 40 something years ago, and they still use that shit.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, bro.
That's more than 40 years ago for sure.
So that's like the pinnacle of the surgeries. And like maybe in the 80s they started using with like allografts with like a dead person's ligaments.
Oh, that's
versus
my cousin got that. He was in the army and he was jumping out of airplanes.
Word.
He fucked up on his landing, and he tore both of his ACLs
at the same damn time.
At the same time.
That's fucked, dude.
And the way that they replaced him, he got 2 cadaver ACLs.
Yeah.
They braided them together.
Yeah.
And they put both of them in each one of his ACLs. Or to replace each one of his ACLs.
That's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
It is nuts. Dude.
But you know, the army they spend a lot. They invest a lot of money in you, so they may as well spend money to fix you back up.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro. Like we're still using shit from 1930s.
Mhm.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It just got like better and more arthroscopic.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's less invasive. It's all the same surgery.
Yeah.
Especially since it's been done for so long, they know that it's gonna be successful.
Yeah.
So it's just more about being less impactful on the body afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro. Like we're trying to make it a yard house soon.
Yeah.
Right, bro.
Yeah. Shit. Happy hour ends at 6.
Yes.
We're probably not gonna make it though.
It takes 15 minutes to get there.
How much traffic?
Traffic's not important right now. We're just trying to win.
Nah, bro. Like the traffic is trash.
Yeah, but it's watch, dude.
I was like hella mad on my way
14
over here.
minutes.
I was driving down Imperial and I was like, fuck this.
14 minutes to get there.
According to what?
Waze, bro.
Right, for sure.
And I checked that like 2 hours ago, and you could like do like an hour from now.
14 minutes?
Look at this, bro. 14 minutes, dog. What's up?
Where?
To your house, the Marina.
You said it's in Marina Del Rey?
Yeah. It's just 405 to the 90. So like, you know, like that's like the first, like the 90 you could cut to Jefferson and then go boom.
Going north on the 405, I guess, yeah.
Well, like if you get on an Imperial right here, you're passing like a lot of traffic.
And then traffic really builds up right in front.
And so it's just, you have to pass La Tijera and then you're at the 90, right? Or am I wrong?
No, you get on from the 90, it's just past Jefferson as you get on the 90.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, never mind. I was putting together in my head, because I normally pass like right past that way.
Yeah, but you still trying to go there or you trying to go somewhere else?
I'm still down for yard house, dude.
Cool.
Shit. I've never been there, so I have no idea.
Nathan still here?
Yeah, his car is here.
Alright, bro, well.
Shit. That
Sign
was
off.
fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yard house, roadhouse.